You know what nobody tells you about negotiating home builder incentives? It's that the biggest deals come from the details. Home builders have this little playbook they use when it comes to negotiating incentives. So today I'm going to teach you how to use these rules to your advantage. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What is the best deal that you've been able to secure with a home builder when it comes to incentives? And if you haven't secured one yet, what type of incentive do you think would give you the best deal when it comes to new construction? I'm super curious to know, so make sure you put your comments down below because I'm sure others are curious as well. The first thing you're probably inclined to do when negotiating with a home builder is to ask for a price reduction, and that is actually the wrong thing to do. Negotiating a price reduction, especially on a home that you're planning to build from the dirt to completion, is really not all that common. And the reason for that is that new construction builders heavily, and I mean heavily, rely on the appraisals and the comps within that neighborhood so that they can keep those high base prices and also keep raising those base prices every so many houses that they sell. So if they give you a price reduction on the base price, then it's going to be really hard for them to explain to the appraisal why the next 7 houses are significantly more expensive. So all in all, the home builder is going to be very reluctant to give you a deep discount on the base price. Now, there are some exceptions to this, and this is where the negotiating comes in. The first exception is inventory homes. These are homes that the builder already built and they had no builder in mind and they're selling them as is, already completed. These homes are a lot more expensive for the builder to hold on to than an empty lot, so they're going to be more motivated to move this product versus a home that needs to be built. So if you are going to negotiate a price reduction, the most likely scenario is going to be on an already completed home. But I'm going to warn you, if you are in a highly demanded area or an area that still has a couple of years to build, then they're not going to take a significant reduction on the inventory home unless it's been sitting for a few months. And don't let the MLS fool you. Sometimes it does show that it's been sitting for 3 to 6 months, but they usually put it on the MLS when they break ground on it. So it could have been in process of building the whole time it's been on the inventory. The second exception is a neighborhood and closeout. You could probably get a good price reduction if you are in a master plan community that doesn't have a lot of builders left, or that there's only 1 or 2 builders left and they only have a handful of inventory homes. That is golden. That is where you're going to be able to negotiate the best in price reductions because they're not going to need the future sales or appraisals as much as they would if the community was just beginning. And it's costing them a lot of money to continue staying in that community when they have nothing left to build. The last exception to this is if you wait until the end of the month to purchase. Most of the time, the sales agents are trying to get in their end of the month goals. Their manager is really pushing them to get a couple more sales. So if you come right at the last minute and you can do something right then and there, they're probably going to be a little more motivated to give you that price reduction so that they can get their numbers in. So since price reductions are not the best avenue to take when it comes to negotiating with home builders, I'm going to give you the tips on what to negotiate instead. The first one is design center credits. If you are building a house from the lot to completion, you are going to spend a lot more in the design center than you think. You're going to spend more than the sales agent says you're going to spend. You're going to spend more than your realtor says you're going to spend. Even if your goal is to go with all standard features and do the upgrades after you move in, it is extremely hard to do that once you are in the design center. So if you can negotiate some credits and allowance within the design center, it's really going to give you that extra cushion to be able to design this house the way you want, since you're already going to be paying a premium dollar for it. Now, if the home is already built and completed, there are still some ways to implement some design center credits and negotiate those into the contract. There's a lot of things you can still do on a completed home. You can ask them to add blinds, you can ask for rain gutters, sprinkler systems, garage door open, smart home features, appliance upgrades. There's many things that could save you a few $1,000s post-closing if you can get those thrown in to the inventory home. Most of the time, if you are persistent with the home builder and you're going to close in a timely manner, you can get a few of these things tacked on and negotiated into the sale. The second common negotiating tactic is to use the other home builders within the community to your advantage. Let's say that you are narrowing it down to 2 home builders within the community. You really like the floor plan of builder A, but builder B has better promotions for a similar type house. You might be able to take promotions from builder B and present them to builder A and say, is there any way you can match this, or why is this price better than what you're offering? They're either A, going to try to get the price that you're asking for, or they're going to have a really good reason as to why their product might be better than the other home builder's product. Either way, it's going to put the builder in a situation where they have tangible proof that they have something that they can match. This is only going to work if you are using similar tier builders, same size house, same kind of family of builders. If you're going to take a Lennar promotion over to a Highland home, it's really probably not going to work out in your favor because you're not really comparing apples to apples. This brings me to another tip to keep in mind when you are negotiating with a home builder. Negotiating with a home builder is very similar to buying a car at the dealership. You have the sales agent who's going to sell you the house and the product and get you excited and motivated, but it's the finance counter, also known in this situation as the builder manager, that is really going to have the final say in what promotions they're going to allow, what incentives they're going to approve, and what all the sales agent is going to be able to do for you. So typically you can present a reasonable offer to the sales agent. They're going to email the builder manager, they're going to show it to them, and then the builder manager is going to decide if that's a offer that they want to pursue or not, based probably on the numbers and the demand they've had that month for that community. Which brings me to my next side tip on successfully negotiating with home builders. Don't be an a-hole to the sales agent. If you are nice with them and reasonable, they are more than likely going to go out of their way to try to present an offer and to go to bat for you to their sales manager to get the deal done. But if you are rude and you are unreasonable and you are demanding and you are essentially high maintenance, that sales agent is probably going to not do as much to try to get the deal done. So just keep in mind that your attitude is going to play a lot in how much the home builder is going to be negotiating with you. Number 3, shameless plug time, use a flippin' realtor when you're buying new construction, especially if you are in a new market that you are unfamiliar with. Your realtor works with these builders every week. They know the sales agents, they know the sales tactics, they know which neighborhoods are better, which builders are better. They know how to negotiate with the builder. They are there to advocate for you and to help you and educate you through the transaction. Of course, they don't build the home and they don't write the sales contract for the home builder. But just keep in mind that the sales agent that you are working with and the home builder work for the home builder. Their goal is to make a great transaction for the home builder, not for you. They do not have your best interests. So it's always a good idea to consult with a realtor and make sure that you're making good decisions, especially if you're unfamiliar with the home build process. Rant over. Number 4 is to use timing to your advantage. Again, as far as it goes for timing, the time of the year you buy, the time of the month, week, it all matters. All the home builders are on different quotas, but November, December, they're really trying to make those end year goals. The market is already slow as it is in the natural process. So if you're going to home builders during the less competitive times, the more likely you're going to get a better deal. The truth is the quicker you can close on a new construction home, whether it be building or inventory, the more motivated and incentivized the builder is to give you a good deal so that they can get it secured right then and there. If you have one foot in the door, you have to sell your house, you're not sure, you're going back and forth, they're not going to give you deals. They're not going to hold deals for you. So when it comes to new construction, really, the quicker you go, the better the deal is going to be at the end of the day. And lastly, the most common way a home builder is going to negotiate with you, especially in 2024, is with lending incentives. Typically, it's going to be anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 to use however you want, whether it be to buy down the rate, use discount points, money towards closing costs, whatever it is, it's basically a credit you can use with their inside lender. I would strongly caution you to look at these incentives very, very carefully and to still consider an outside lender and compare very carefully the immediate savings versus the long-term savings. Usually still the outside lender is going to have better terms, but they're not going to have as much upfront cash to give you. Just keep in mind, even with these financing incentives, essentially they are rolled into the price of the home you're paying. So at the end of the day, you're still going to be paying a monthly payment on a premium home price, and you're still going to be paying very high property taxes on a premium home price. So when it's all said and done, just be very careful with financing incentives and make sure that you do your due diligence and look at the pros and cons for all the situations. Seeing so many stories pop up now of people who were not familiar with the finance terms and now they're suddenly getting higher mortgage payments a few years later. So I just strongly encourage you, at the end of the day, these incentives are marketing ploys. They're not actually savings all of the time. The way to win with a home builder and to negotiate is to be ready to buy a house and to go for the homes that are already completed in communities that don't have a lot of inventory left. That is the best way you're going to secure a deal with a home builder in 2024. If you found this video helpful, I have another entire playlist on new construction upgrades, the ones that have the best return on value, the ones that are a waste of money. Make sure you check out that playlist, especially if you are planning to build a home in Houston in the next couple of years. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.